Hey guys, I hope everyone's doing well and is safe. I wanted to, for this month's how-to video, talk about how to draw a jackalope, since one of our illustrations will be featuring a jackalope. So I did a quick sketch so you can kind of see the jackalope that I created for this month's illustration, sitting down, kind of in an upright position. So we're going to start out, when I draw jackalopes, I like to start out by drawing the jackrabbit and then adding the antelope part. So to begin with, I'm going to start with the top of the jackrabbit's head, or the jackalope's head, and I just draw a little curved line up there. And then I have the ears come up, and what I'm going to do is when I get to the top, I make a little nub, and then I come down kind of the wider part in the middle there, and then taper it off as I get closer to the head. Same with the other side. I'm going to have the ear come up, little nub at the top, wider in the middle, and then taper it off as I get back towards the head. His head's turned slightly, so I'm going to have a little brow bone here. And then I'm going to come down the other side. I'm going to kind of swoop around for where his cheek would be. And then I'm going to have his mouth right here. So I have that kind of coming out just a little bit. And then on this side, where his head comes in, I'm going to have the other side of his mouth coming in too. And we'll connect that in just a second. From where his brow bone is, I'm going to move over slightly, and that's going to be where one of his eyes is. And then on the other side, I'm going to have the other eye. I tend to like to use kind of a little arced eye, like a little rainbow, just to show that my animal's happy. From the corner of his eye, I'm going to come down, and that's going to start where my nose is. And I'm just going to use a V shape for that. I'm going to bring a little line down, and then I'm going to connect one side and then connect the other side. And then underneath where his mouth is, I'll have for his chin just a little U under there. So there's his head. I'm going to go ahead and add his little antlers up here, his pronghorn part. So I'm going to have the antler kind of behind the ear a little bit, and so I'm going to draw just a little U underneath for where the base of the antlers is going to be, and then I'm going to have this little prong come up there, and then I'm going to bring it around and then kind of hide it behind the ear. Same on the other side. Bringing it up and out. And this one's going to be kind of like a mirror image of the other one. Okay, the inside of his ear right here, I'm going to bring a line up there, just up to the tip. Same with this side. I'm going to go over a little bit, up to the tip. Okay. Now I'm going to bring his neck down. So we have some lines coming down. His chest is puffed out just a little bit. And then I'm going to have his back coming down into that seated position. And coming around. I'm going to have his chest coming down. And then when you decide you're ready for his leg, so it's going to come down to about right there. I'm going to have his leg come down. I'm going to skip over a little bit and have his other part of his leg come down there. And then I'm going to draw his first paw. So what I'm going to do is draw the bottom part. I'm going to loop it around for one paw, one little toe, and then I'm going to have another toe, not because he has two toes, but those are the ones that you can see. And then I'm gonna add his other leg fairly close by. Add one toe and add the other toe. He's gonna have a little bit of a belly on him. So we'll start to bring that belly down a little bit. And then I'm gonna move up to his leg in the back, his haunch. And I'm gonna come down. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to finish off his back right here, and I'm gonna have the rest of his leg coming down. So I'm gonna have a line coming out this way, and then I'm gonna have it coming down. And you can see how I use little pencil marks so that I can change them easily and shift gears as I go. So I have this one line coming down, straight line, and then I have the bottom where his foot is going to be coming down. So I'm adding a toe, adding another toe, and connecting it. I have his belly coming in right there. And then I'm going to have his other leg, which is kind of hidden on this side, is going to do the same thing. Come down that way. And there we go. Okay, so we have his legs. Our last step is to add his tail. And jackalopes, well, jackrabbits tend to have longer tails. And so I'm gonna add, to start with, just this skinny looking tail here. And then I'm gonna add a wavy line underneath to show some of the fluff on his tail. And you'll see that more once we start, well, once you start adding color and everything. You can leave that part white, and then you can have this top part here decorated with texture and with color the same as you would the fur. So that is our jackalope. I'm gonna go ahead and add ink to the lines, and then I'm gonna use my eraser to erase my pencil lines. And then we'll be done with our tutorial for this month. All right, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. That was our tutorial on how to draw a jackalope. If you do decide that you want to take it a step further and start adding some texture or adding some paint, one way that I like to add texture is using a very fine point micron pen, so 005, and I'll just start doing a dashed line. And I'll just keep doing series of dashed lines all over his body, leaving his antlers without it, and then also the white fluff without it, so his tail would also have it. I like to paint my jackalope gray typically, but you can choose whatever color you'd like. And then I also tend to make his chest and his tummy on the inside here a little more white or lighter than his back. His ears, I tend to use a reddish brown, and then I start with it more pigmented towards the middle to show kind of the shadow in there, and then I add more white as we get to the outside. So I hope you enjoyed the tutorial, and if you did decide to try it, I would love to see how your jackalope turned out. Have a great rest of your month, guys. Thank you, as always, for joining me on my Patreon project. I'm very grateful for your support and for just having you along with me for the journey. Take care, and I'll talk to you next month.